you working the right rep ranges to grow? Let's find out right now. So correct rep ranges have been debated in science, message boards, and especially now in social media for a long time. People have been debating what rep ranges work best to grow muscle. And today I'm going to show you what works best for me and the people I work with. First up, we have the 6 to 8 rep range, or what some people call the strength building rep range area. So there's a lot of people who spend predominantly all their time or their full time, all their exercises in this rep range, and you can't argue with the results, but I would argue that they could have got the same results or even better results by expanding outside their rep range. Now, having said that, there are some exercises that I call my strength builder, that build my core foundation for my strength, that I do stick in this rep range. That's going to be incline barbell bench press, hack squats, rack pulls for deadlifts. So I pretty much got one exercise per body part, push, pull, legs, that I spend in that 6 to 8 rep range. That's going to build a solid foundation of strength. Let's move up into the 8 to 12 rep range now, which some people call, or science calls, the bodybuilding rep range. And science calls this the bodybuilding rep range because it's had decades of literature that prove this is the rep range you need to spend a predominant amount of your time in if you want to build muscle. So for me, I'm going to spend a lot of my time in this rep range and the 6 to 8 rep range. So I would say anywhere 6 to 8 and then 8 to 12. I'm spending a lot of my time there, and I'm working predominantly free weights with some machines sprinkled in. So I'm spending those two rep ranges are pretty much free weights and machines. For some exercises, I like to stick in this rep range. I like to do dumbbell bench press for chest. I like hitting RDLs for hamstrings here, leg press for my quads, and then the one-arm dumbbell row for back. You notice I didn't list any shoulder or arm training I do in either one of those rep ranges. That's because I spent a lot of that time, my arm and shoulder training, and the next two rep ranges we're going to talk about. Before we move on, guys, if you like the video so far and you're finding it helpful, subscribe to the channel. I have tons of videos in my library right now to show you how to break past sticking points and plateaus on any muscle groups you may have. Next, we're going up to the 12 to 20 range, and this is where I'm going to have a lot of guys, especially science-based lifters, come at me and say, you can't take this rep range to failure, so you can't grow to muscle. And to them, I would say, try it for 6 weeks, see what happens. So the problem with thinking like that is thinking that just because you're taking something to 12 to 20, you're not taking it to failure, and that's the mistake. A lot of people that train in this rep range, they make that mistake. So let me show you what I mean. So you can still work this rep range and take it to failure, meaning let's say I'm doing 20 on the leg extension, 16 or 15, let's say I'm on 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, yes, correct. That was not taking it to failure. That was just working to 20 for the sake of working to 20. But you pick the correct weight and you go 15, 16, 17, you're just grinding them out, then absolutely you're working to failure. 19, 20. So again, if your sets of 12 to 20 look like that, it absolutely is going to grow muscle. So the key there is to take those 12 to 20 sets to failure, not just do jump volume. Another reason to work in this rep range is if you spend all your time in the 6 to 12 rep range, you're never going to give your body that exposure to anything higher than 6 to 12. So you're never going to get that new stimulus of training in a different rep range. This rep range I typically reserve for all of my arm training, my shoulder training, so all of my tricep push downs, all of my barbell or cable curls, whatever it may be, my lateral raises, front raises, bent over laterals. All of my arm training, my shoulder training is predominantly spent here. If I go anything lower or higher, it's maybe just one set or one exercise per week. Lastly, let's talk about the 20 plus or the 20 to 30 rep range. So this one I don't typically work a lot. What I do is about every 6 to 8 weeks, as a way to provide a new stimulus and hit those type 1 muscle fibers, I'll pick one exercise per body part and take it to 20 to 30 reps. So after 6 to 8 weeks of doing all the other rep ranges we just talked about, I'll come back and I'll do leg press for a set of, a couple sets of 20 to 30, dumbbell bench press 20 to 30, whatever it may be. And again, that's just going to kind of shock your system out of that, what it's been doing, that stagnant 6 to 12, 12 to 15, whatever it may be, and just kind of give it a new stimulus. So it's not great to stay in that 20 to 30 for too long past that, 1 week of, of deload, or you want to call it, but it is great for providing a new stimulus. So speaking of deload, it is great to work in, again, that 6 to 8 weeks after you're beating your body down and you're mentally exhausted. Just give your body a full week of just trying to get a good pump, and this is going to do that, working that 20 to 30 reps where you're not really stressing your joints too hard, you're just going for a pump. So I would say every 6 to 8 weeks, plan a deload and train one exercise per body part and take it to 20, 30 reps. As a side note, I will say that I do train my rear delts exclusively in the 20 to 30 rep range. I learned from John Meadows and Chris Evans later down the road that if you want freaky shoulders, you got to have freaky rear delts. And when I switched to doing 15, 20, 25, 30 reps on rear delts, those things took off. So I will say train your rear delts exclusively in that 20 to 30 rep range. All right guys, that's the end. So my take home from this video is there's no one rep range that's gonna build muscle. You need all of them to really encompass and make a fully developed, well-built physique. So I would say watch this video, check the rep ranges and exercises I listed for each, and try to work exclusively in those rep ranges for each ones I listed. And also try to work in those 20 to 30. Even though you've never done it, give it a shot. Try the 20 to 30, try the 12 to 15 if you never worked those, and see what happens. I promise you, if you do that, you're gonna have a better built physique after 6 to 8 weeks. If you like the video, guys, subscribe, and as always, stay swole.